I'm going to do it. Should have done it a while ago, but now it feels right.
Love, trust your intuition. We already support you.
For once, I agree. Go for it.
The time is now.
Greetings and welcome back to my channel. You're here with Chemeka. For today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys a dilemma that I've had for a few years now, but it's only like as of now have I decided to just go for it. But all in all, I feel like now is the best time to get on changing the title for my first novel, The Masterpiece. I wrote it when I was about 18, but I self-published it when I was 19. And from then to now, I've been steadily updating it. As you can see, this is a revised edition. There were so many mistakes that I made with this novel, and it was all because I was too hasty. I want to just finally get started with a physical copy of my work, my imagination, whatever the universe has downloaded into me, and then I've allowed my creativity to weave into this story. I just wanted it to be seamless. I had been writing online for a bit. I didn't fully delve deep into that, but I was just impatient. I had done some research in self-publishing, so I thought I knew enough to get started. But I'm going to do a different video on the mistakes that I made, how you can avoid them too. As for this novel, I should have been releasing the novels kind of consecutively. So initially I had planned to release book 1 the first year and then book 2 the second year. I had already written book 2, but what I didn't do is much planning into the series and how I wanted it to unfold. I knew that I wanted 2 series to kind of run parallel to each other, because then eventually they would converge and the characters would cross over into the different worlds. But life was a celery, or just rather knocking me. I was like, I don't even want to do this no more. Passion kind of disappeared. I no longer wanted to be a writer, or certain doubts were just kicking in. I was like, I don't feel the need to do this. Should I even do this? But somehow I just kept on coming back to writing, which just further solidified for me that this was my path. And I needed to go on a bit of a self-development journey, go through life a bit in order to now return back to this series, which started because I was utilizing it as a vehicle of expression. I would instill parts of myself in my main character, Callista, and utilize that to reveal certain layers within myself and just create a bit of a story with it. I feel like the best stories are the ones where the author embeds part of their journey in this world into the character, so then they can just see themselves and other readers can perceive that too. They can relate, they can have empathy for another person's journey. So with this project now, I'm giving up to complete book 2. I have created a massive shift because the original book 2 is now book 3. So I had to create this space for book 2 to now exist between book 1 and then now book 3. But in doing so, this means that the branding for this series has changed. I'm also now at a stage in life where I can see the vision for this series. I know where I want to go. There's also AI, ChatGPT, that is assisting me, Pinterest, and I can just see my story a whole lot better. Whereas when I initially crafted and conjured it within my mind, I could see the characters and know what they were trying to do. But when it came to transferring this to paper, there was a disconnect and I was struggling so much. I'm a type of person where I can be very practical and I don't want to focus too much on the theory. So I have books on how to craft better characters, and trying to understand the theoretical side of developing these characters just kind of bogged me down. And I was like, I needed to be more in the headspace of feeling the characters and allowing them to just use my hands essentially to write their story. So now I can fully say that I know how to just get on with the writing process. With my vision now expanding, the title of this novel, it no longer fits with the way that I'm trying to birth it in this world. The original title, The Masterpiece, it wasn't meant to detail the story for the book 1. The way that I originally crafted it was for it to be an introduction to my universe as a whole, this series, The Shadow I Cast. So the title would be dragged along from book to book. The Masterpiece, it notes something key in this series that will be unraveled later on to come. It did also touch upon a specific character's worldview in this novel. But now, it's always noted that when you're crafting a series, the novel's title needs to show a seamless connection. So with the title that I've got for the second novel and the third novel, although it does connect, I want it to be more impactful from book one. And as such, the masterpiece just no longer fits with the way that I am envisioning the continuation of this series. And I feel like I'm at a very vital stage where it's either now or never, as later on this year I do plan on releasing the second novel and just to get the ball rolling again. I've taken far too long just to get to this point where now I can fully dive deep into the series again and give it my entire effort, just hands on with everything, because now I'm no longer in the job that was just draining my energy, and I felt like I was battling internally with trying to be present in this world but also being like, I want to just do my own thing. Self-publishing is all me being hands-on. I do outsource certain things, but in terms of the writing process, I need to make sure that I can cocoon my mind to now just zone in and put the story on paper. I do have a small readership, so that's why I'm making this video. I want you guys to be involved in helping me decide the next title. I do have some suggestions because I was utilizing ChatGPT to see how I could connect book one, book two, book three's title all together and just have it be very unique. I love the second novel's title. I'm like, yo, this is hitting. This is touching the spot that it needs to touch. So for marketability as well, I'm going to revamp the cover. Naturally, if you're changing the title, you need to change the cover as well. I have liked this cover, but in the times that we're in now, I released this 2018. I did a re-edition, but this cover it might be a little bit outdated, and I just want it to be more an expanded essence of the story. I do like this one because it has a black woman on it, so I'm going to continue with that. But with AI, now it's like there is so much more opportunities for how to construct another cover, and I've seen so much that are just brilliant. I have an example. This one here is so nice. Even this one, I was like, this is cool, but I do want to like work around certain things and just have it be more marketable. We are in an era where people want more African fantasy stories, and there's covers that are just wow. This makes me want to read it. And the way that I create certain videos, I can also implement that as well. Creating characters, artwork, utilizing the book cover, and just creating a book trailer that will just grip my readers even more and get them excited. That's what I want actually. I want there to be that excitement because I feel it inside, but sometimes it dissipates when I'm not keeping the ball rolling. Also, with me now fully claiming my writer's path, I want to fully give it my all and go all in. I spent so much time just wasting doing this novel, going over my mistakes when I could have been writing more, producing more, but I needed this series to be solid because it is the introduction to my universe. It is the doorway into starting to see how this universe will unravel, the characters that will be born in it. And above all, should be my higher goal, is to have other authors be able to contribute to this series. Much like this body of work, this is the first African futurism anthology that does what I wanted to do years ago. Another reason for changing this title is that I have confirmed within myself that I want to write African futurism. I want to challenge myself with this genre and do it justice in my own way. Even though it's a term coined by Nnedi Okorafor, the way that they are creating the genre is for it to be African-centered on the continent and to be telling these futuristic stories that weave in things out of space and on the continent. Since I've been brought up in the diaspora, I don't have experience from being on the continent. So African futurism to me is utilizing what I know, what I'm going to continue to learn through researching the different cultures on Africa and then weaving them into the diaspora. So for now, a lot of my stories will have a connection to London, and then I will develop planets outside of Earth that would interact and have a relationship with London, and then they would also like kind of spawn off of that back into Africa. It would be like this relay system. So since I've now wholeheartedly wanted to tell African futurism stories, it makes sense to, from this point onwards, now have this novel be immersed in that. Whereas prior, I'd always noted it as an African fantasy sci-fi novel, and I didn't really have a strong emphasis on the marketing. I was more just flowing with it, trying to figure things out. But since I'm also utilizing this channel, Nicely Crafted, alongside my self-publishing business, Nicely Publishing, I just want everything to be more seamless, succinct. You can see the branding across the self-publishing, the YouTube channel, and my book series, because ultimately I'm creating an ecosystem, so it makes sense for everything to just be perfect. Rightly said from a perfectionist. Side note too, ever since 777, the universe is fully blessing me with this transition. So now why would I disregard that? I must continue being aligned and being in that flow. I really feel like this will be monumental. This is the shift that needs to happen. If you would like to be a part of this decision-making process, you can click the link in my bio to subscribe to my mailing list, and then you'd also receive a document to help choose out of the list of titles which one resonates with you the most, and then I'll tally it all together. I will release my final verdict on my mailing list, so you can only be a part of this if you're on the mailing list. You also receive exclusive details concerning things that I'm going to be developing further on into this year, and when I start asking for like beta readers to read book 2, but you'd have to have read book 1. I do have a free bundle where you can receive a hidden chapter for the masterpiece, an African futurism guide to help you just understand my vision, as well as another project which I'm working on. My aim is to have that one be traditionally published, but I just want to give you guys an insight because that one there, oh my gosh, I literally pulled it out of my notes and said I'm going to create this whole story for an African publisher and submit it. And the work that I put into that novel there, it was very transformational. It was on a different ball game that I've never touched before, and I'm just so excited to see how I'll continue to level up with each story. But that story will also be in this universe that I'm developing as well. And it's mystical, it's spiritual. I just love it. And I hope you guys will love it too. So if you would like to be a part of this journey, subscribe to my mailing list. The link is in the description below. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.